Hi, everybody. Today, Pablo couldn't be here with us, but I'm here in his behalf. My name is Laura Mejia, and I also work at International Relocation Partner. We're very happy to be here and to provide you with this awesome partnership with We Speak Spanish and some Spanish classes for you guys. I just wanted to remind you of our expat community, the expatcommunity.com, where you can check out news translated to Spanish, and a lot of information that can help you, either if you live here in Costa Rica or in Panama or in Mexico. We're working with all those new places. And Portugal and Spain are coming soon. So thank you guys for joining us. I hope you like it. And let's get started.
Hola, hola. Buenas tardes. Hello, hello, people. How are you? I am really happy to be here one more Friday. So this is our second season, if we can say that in that way. This is our second season for our free Spanish classes. My name is Wagner from We Speak Spanish Language School. So we are a Spanish school focused in Spanish classes for residents. So actually, we have three locations. One location in Atenas, one location in Santana, and one more location in Savannah. But also we have Spanish classes online. But today, remember, we want to collaborate with the expat community. Every Friday, we will have a short Spanish class, and today we are here for the reason. So last week, we started to study something that is difficult for the students. My experience like teacher said the use of por and para is difficult for our students. Today, we will study the rule number 2 about the uses of por and para. Do you have problems with por and para? See, if you have problems, this is one class for you. Okay, so let me share with you my screen. Okay, I want to read these three sentences. Number one, you can read it with me. Number one, yo vivo en Costa Rica para 2 años. I live in Costa Rica for 2 years. If you say in Spanish, yo vivo en Costa Rica para 2 años. If you say, yo estudio español para 6 meses. I study Spanish for 6 months. Or if you say, yo trabajo para 8 horas por día, I work for 8 hours per day, I need to say that you are saying this completely wrong. So these three sentences are wrong. And that is why we are studying the uses of por and para. This kind of mistake, it's very common with our students because the truth is that different uses sometimes are difficult for you. Today, the use number 2 is when we use por and when we use para if we are talking about time. See that in these three sentences, even if they are wrong, we are using a time after the preposition para. So one more time. Yo vivo en Costa Rica para 2 años. Yo estudio español para 6 meses. Yo trabajo para 8 horas por día. These three sentences are wrong. Okay, Wagner, can you help us to understand this completely? So in this case, I need to say this. We will use para always when we talk about period. Vamos a usar la preposición por cuando hablamos de periodo. ¿Ok? Cuando hablamos de periodo. Let me give you some examples. For example, when we talk about period, we can say, for example, por 2 días, por 2 semanas, por 2 años, por 2 meses, por 2 horas. I am using a similar time, so if you see, with the idea that you can see how works the period in these examples. Por 2 días, for 2 days. Por 2 semanas, for 2 weeks. Por 2 años, for 2 years. Por 2 meses, for 2 months. Por 2 horas, for 2 hours. So in that case, now I can create my sentence talking about period. Okay? Yo alquilé. Yo alquilé un carro por 2 días. Do you know the meaning of this sentence? Yo alquilé un carro por 2 días. I rented a car. The period, 2 days. I rented a car for 2 days. Yo alquilé un carro por 2 días. Remember, if you say, yo alquilé un carro para 2 días, wrong. You should say, because is that a period, you need to say, yo alquilé un carro por 2 días. Example number 2. Quiero viajar a la playa. Who wants to travel to the beach? I want to travel to the beach. For how long? For 2 weeks. 2 weeks, it's the period. Okay, so in that case, in Spanish, if you say, quiero viajar a la playa para 2 semanas, it is wrong. We need to say, quiero viajar a la playa por 2 semanas. Okay? 2 weeks, it's the period. I want to travel to the beach for 2 weeks. Example number 3. Yo vivo en Costa Rica por 2 años. If you say, yo vivo en Costa Rica para 2 años, it is wrong. You need to say, yo vivo en Costa Rica por 2 años. I live in Costa Rica for 2 years. Okay? Can you see this? Can you see how works this? Maybe now you are saying, oh no, many times I'm using this incorrectly, but now you know how should use it in the correct way. Okay? One more example. Remember, we need to use period, or always when you talk about period, we need to use por. Voy a ir a Estados Unidos. Voy a ir a Estados Unidos. I am going to go to United States. For how long? For 2 months. If you use para, it's incorrect. Because it's a period, we need to say por. I am going to the United States for 2 months. Voy a ir a Estados Unidos por 2 meses. Okay? And our last example, I will use hours. Yo estudio español por 2 horas. I studied Spanish for 2 hours. So in all these cases, we are talking about period. Okay? When we talk about period, we need to use por. Let's read again these examples. Yo alquilé un carro por 2 días. Quiero viajar a la playa por 2 semanas. Yo vivo en Costa Rica por 2 años. Voy a ir a Estados Unidos por 2 meses. And finally, yo estudio español por 2 horas. Okay? So this is the use of the preposition por when we talk about time. Remember, always when it's period, we will use por. Okay? But Wagner, when we use para, you will see this now. In that case, we will use para always when we talk about fecha límite. Do you know what's the meaning of fecha límite? Fecha límite, it's deadline. So now it's not period. Now it's deadline. So, for example, if you can say para mañana. Yo necesito terminar el reporte. Yo necesito terminar el reporte. I need to finish the inform. When? When is the deadline? Tomorrow. That is why we will say para mañana. Yo necesito terminar el reporte para mañana. That is the deadline. It's not the period. If not, is the deadline. Okay? Yo necesito terminar el reporte para mañana. One more example. Yo necesito dinero. Maybe you need money. Yo necesito dinero para el lunes. Why? Because Monday I need to pay the electricity bill, because you need to pay the loan of your house. So that is the deadline. That is the last day that you have to pay that. So we will use para to express that is the deadline for your activity. Yo necesito dinero para el lunes. Okay? And one more example. And this expression, para mañana, por la mañana. And here is normally when the student, they say, Wagner, but what's the meaning of mañana? Mañana, remember, has two meanings. Mañana, it could be morning, but also mañana, it could be tomorrow. Okay? So, in this last example, we are using both uses with por and para. In both cases, we are talking about time, but number one is talking about the deadline, and number two is talking about the period. If you see the day has 3 periods: morning, afternoon, at night. See this example. Yo necesito cocinar. I need to cook for tomorrow in the morning. Para mañana en la mañana. Okay? So, did you have problems with the use of por and para when you talk about time? Probably no more, okay? Because now you can see, now you learn how do you use por and para when we talk about time. Let's do a review. No, sorry, I'm sorry. One more. When we use, so we use para also, I'm sorry, we use para also when we talk about celebrations. What is a celebration? For example, the Mother's Day. Mhm. Entonces, we use para when we talk about deadline. Mhm. And we use para when we talk about celebrations. Okay? So, let me put here el día de la madre. ¿Qué significa? What's the meaning of el día de la madre? So that is the Mother's Day. Okay. See the sentence. Yo quiero decorar mi casa. I want to decorate my house. Mhm. Para el Día de la Madre. Yo quiero decorar mi casa para el Día de la Madre. In this case, what you are saying is, I want to decorate my house for the Mom's Day, for the celebration of the Mom's Day. So that is a celebration. So it's not a deadline, it's a celebration. But we are saying that we want to decorate our house for that specific day. For example, you want to celebrate the birthday of your somebody in your family. So you can say, para el cumpleaños de mi hijo. That is a celebration. Para el cumpleaños de mi hijo. In your sentence, you can say, yo quiero hornear un queque. Do you know the meaning of this sentence? Yo quiero hornear un queque. I want to bake a cake. I want to bake a cake for my son's birthday. Yo quiero hornear un queque para el cumpleaños de mi hijo. In celebrations also we can say para Navidad. Para Navidad. What is Navidad? Navidad is Christmas. So you can say, yo quiero comprar un árbol. Yo quiero comprar un árbol para Navidad. I want to buy a tree for Christmas. In all these three cases, we are talking about celebrations. And it's a time, it's a celebration. We will use para. Okay? So, remember those are, so we have here por period or para celebraciones, celebrations o fecha límite, deadlines. Okay? Let's read. Remember, those are a short sessions. So let's read before to finish this session. This use with the three different differences. So we will use por when it's period. Yo alquilé un carro por 2 días. Quiero viajar a la playa por 2 semanas. Yo vivo en Costa Rica por 2 años. Voy a ir a Estados Unidos por 2 meses. Yo estudio español por 2 horas. We are talking about period and we should use por. But now we will use para when we talk about deadline. Let's read these 3 sentences. Yo necesito terminar el reporte para mañana. I need to finish the inform for tomorrow. Yo necesito dinero para el lunes. I need money for the Monday. or yo necesito cocinar para mañana por la mañana. I need to cook for tomorrow in the morning, for the morning. Okay? Talking about celebrations. Yo quiero decorar mi casa para el Día de la Madre. I want to decorate my house for the Mom's Day. Yo quiero hornear un queque para el cumpleaños de mi hijo. I want to bake a cake for my son's birthday. And finally, yo quiero comprar un árbol para Navidad. I want to buy a tree for Christmas. Okay? Next week, we will continue talking about the uses of por and para, but now when we talk about this is time, we talk about motive, but now next week we will talk about when we use por and para if we talk about people. Okay? Do you want to learn about that? We invite you to join us next week, the same time, 1:30 Costa Rica time, 2:30 Mexico and Panama time, and we will be here. And remember, please share with your friends about this session, and we want that all of you join us. Okay? Thank you. Muchas gracias. I see you.
Thank you. And thank you everyone from joining. I hope you had a great experience and that you learned a lot about the difference between por and para, which is it's a difficult thing to learn.
Do you think,
The
Laura?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's one of those words in Spanish that overcomplicate the language. Like in English, you only have one little like auxiliary for all of these situations, but for
Completely true.
have a lot. And then you can even make it weirder when you're talking in French or in Italian. But but yeah, thank you for your time. And see you next time, guys. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye, bye, bye.